Allegri, and welcome to MLB The Show. Hi, I'm Justin Allegri, and welcome to MLB The Show. Welcome to your Saturday edition of Inside the Show. I'm Justin Allegri. Looking first at the NL Central, Carl Yazzie plated 4 total with his 3 home runs, helping lead the Cubs over the Brewers 10-1. The Pirates amassed 14 hits in the game as they pulverized the Braves 9-3. The St. Louis Cardinals grabbed the win against the visiting Reds 2-1. The Mets beat the visiting Marlins 5-4. Denny McClain got the victory on the mound, throwing 8 strong innings and allowing only 1 earned run, helping Philadelphia dispose of the Nationals 5-1. The Arizona Diamondbacks allowed 5 hits in the game as they bested the visiting Indians 7-2. The Rockies got the best of the Dodgers at home 2-1. The San Francisco Giants total 11 hits as they grabbed a victory over the Padres at Petco Park 11-3. The Blue Jays knocked out 12 hits as a team as they took down the Rays in St. Petersburg 6-4. In other Rays news, relief pitcher number 25 will be out of action for a few days according to team reports. He's dealing with a strained finger. The Baltimore Orioles defeated the visiting Yankees 3-1. The Twins got 12 hits in this one as they got the extra innings win over the White Sox 4-2. In other Chi Sox news, Jacob deGrom reached the 500 career strikeouts milestone. The Tigers launched 3 home runs as they beat the visiting Red Sox 7-1. The Angels totaled 13 hits as a team as they took down the visiting Mariners 6-2. A.J. Pollock drove in 4 and had a home run as Texas got the victory over Oakland 6-4. The Kansas City Royals totaled 11 hits as a team as they got a win over the Astros in Houston 4-1. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back here tomorrow and all season long.
Well, there you have it, folks, and welcome back for some more of Milwaukee Brewer baseball. Brewers looking to bounce back after losing the opener of the series against the Cubs yesterday in just pathetic fashion, losing 10-1. Looking to turn their fates around today, as Carlos Carrasco for the Cubs squares off against Kevin Brown. So Kevin Brown gets the second start of the season, pitched a wonderful game in the opener of the season and just not able to get any run support, did not factor in the decision. Facing off against Carlos Carrasco, and Carrasco looking to cement his place in the lineup, Randy Johnson following his start today. For the Chicago Cubs, their lineup will consist of leadoff hitter Carney Lansford, third baseman, followed by center fielder Willie Davis, batting second from the left-hand side. Also batting left, and the absolute monster of yesterday's game, Carl Yastrzemski, batting third and playing left field. He of that 3 home runs yesterday, all solo shots, but an impressive feat nonetheless. The cleanup spot will be manned by Eddie Murray playing first base, followed by right fielder Jeff Alkaline and catcher Roseboro. Seventh will be the second baseman Craig Biggio, and Carlos Carrasco batting in the 8th spot for the Cubs, followed by Jimmy Rollins. For the Milwaukee Brewers, Roberto Clemente having a little bit of issues with keeping their players fresh. There's going to have to be a bunch of moving around today. Let's see if That might be a problem. He's a first baseman. Palmeiro could play left field. He's gonna play left field. Cano. We gotta get P. Rose out of there, actually. So Molina's just gonna have to hang in there. And so, excuse us for that. The Brewers are going to have to just reorganize their entire lineup. They've not been paying attention to the players' stamina bar. And as a result, you have probably their weakest lineup of the season. Center fielder will start off with Devon White, switch hitter. Number 2 for the Brewers will be Sammy Sosa. The third spot will be manned by lefty Rafael Palmeiro, having a terrific start to the season. Cano, batting .350, will be in the cleanup spot today, followed by Brooks in third base. Shortstop, Cal Ripken Jr., still available. Mark Grace will be playing in first base, batting 7th, followed by Yadier Molina. Could use a day off, but it looks like they're going to use him for one more. And, of course, Kevin Brown in the ninth spot. So, with yesterday's wins, the Cubs take over the number 1 spot in the division, as they were only a half a game back. This figures to be a very important game for both clubs, trying to get a head start here in the National League Central. So taking the mound, Kevin Brown, terrific in his first start, as we talked about earlier. Had 6 strikeouts and, really did allow 8 hits, but kept everything under control. 7 innings of just tip-top baseball pitching for Kevin Brown in Game 1, looking to repeat some of that. And the first up, it's not going to make it any kind of an easy feat with Carney Lansford. Coming up to bat, hit a 3-run bomb yesterday as part of the 10-1 onslaught. Well, good to see Brown just, starting the game, going after Carney, not backing down. A sinker, a little low. Carney has a little bit of trouble with it, keeping his balance. No balls and 2 strikes. And an inside slider. Nowhere close. Taken for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carney Lansford. And for those of you tuning in for the broadcast, I can't promise it's going to be a strong broadcast or that we're going to make it all the way to the end, unfortunately. We have some strong weather coming in here out of West Palm Beach. And the ball ripped to first base. Fielded nicely by Mark Grace, getting the start today for out number 1.
Second here tonight. Center fielder, Willie Davis.
Willie Davis looking to turn his fortune around here. Only coming in batting .158. Not where he wants to be. Just talking to him yesterday after the game. The guy, believe it or not, was taking some more BP after the game. And his spirits are good. He said he knows this is a low funk he's going through. He's going to figure some things out, some tweaks as he pops up here. Easy play for Molina for out number 2. And a lot of the guys, they took the loss. They didn't just blow it off. A lot of them really hit them hard, as we talked about yesterday's win. Here comes Yaz, who's just 3 home run game. Historic day for a young Yaz Yastrzemski. Brown the pitch, and he might still get this off, and the competitor in Kevin Brown is what got him to make that play, because that was, that hit him hard enough where no one expected him to actually go for the ball, but he does, and as such, the Cubs get out of the top of the first without getting a single hit. Taking the mound for the Cubs is Carlos Carrasco. Last year 25 starts, 11-8 record, 3.32, not bad ERA. Ton of innings, and had a lot of strikeouts with only 34 walks. Carrasco's finding Chicago to be a good fit, and seems to be a big hit with the fans as well.
Center fielder, Devin White.
Devon White comes up to bat and takes a low fastball for strike 1. And as I was saying, we have a lot of weather here in West Palm Beach, so we're going to try and get through this broadcast in good shape, but it will not be a guarantee, as White fouls off another for strike number 2. And a ball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a line drive, but caught by the shortstop. Looked like it had a chance, but out number 1 for Devon White. And Sammy hits it right to the same spot. And real quick here in the top of the first, on the bottom of the first, the Cubs get 2 outs. And Palmeiro rips one into left field, but right to the left fielder, and that's Yaz again flashing the leather as well.
Leading out for the Cubs, first baseman
Eddie Murray looking to do some running here. And swings away and fouls back a sinker for strike number 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And an inside changeup freezes Murray. Murray's not happy with the call. But honestly, I think he's not fooling anybody. He was fooled on that throw. Brewers defense looking pretty formidable still. I got Brooks Robinson at third base, Mark Grace at first base, Devon White in center field, and this is considered the backup. So just lets you know how this team is built to withstand some of these games where the starters will be taking a lot of time off for whatever reason. So we got Klein here taking the first 2 pitches for strikes. Swings away, fouls off a sinker, and it's sort of a similar pattern. I mean, Brown being very economical with his pitches. Only 16 here at the top of the second. A high changeup that's could be problematic against Klein, but Brown's been getting away with it so far this game. And this one he does not get away with, as Jeff Klein gets a base hit here to lead off the second. Oh, Roseboro looking to move the runner along if he can. Swings badly at a slider. And once again, Brown is 0-2. And this is a good chance for a double play. There's a chance. And he gets called safe at first base. We might have a review here. But it looks like
second baseman.
The Brewers won't bother. Brown did a great job in his first start of grounding batters into double plays in 3 consecutive innings, actually. So that's always a good sign. A guy like Brown, he's going to strike you out, but if he can get you to just keep grounding out to boot, I think any manager will be happy with that. Keeping a close eye. Oh, and this is a hit into the gap. This has a chance to possibly score. One runner. They're gonna go for it, but there's a good chance. He is not even at the plate. And once again, the Cubbies take a lead here in the first inning, second inning. And Brown really should have seen this coming. He could have gotten out of the second inning. Still relatively low ball count if he would just worked around the number 8 spot and just got to Carrasco. Carrasco is not seen as a threat with a bat in his hand. And I know he's going to really kick himself here. As it is, the Cubs strike first, scoring 1 on a gapper. Cubs take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the second. And Cano with a base hit to left field, swinging at the first pitch. Carrasco looks a little bit shaken up with that. I don't know if it's a physical ailment or if he's just upset with himself, but definitely took a peculiar amount of steps around the mound and try to hold it back, and checks over at the first base umpire, says he did. So Brooks Robinson trying to get something going here. And he swings at a changeup, fouls it back for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one gets away from the catcher, but you're not going to see Cano make an attempt here. He's going to stay right there on first base. Well, he's off. He's taken off. And the ball is hit, and we got a very beautiful play here. The hit and run definitely moved over the infielder and just allowed for Cano to go from first to third. No problems. And so now you have the Brewers threatening here with no outs, runners on first and third. And Cal's going to really do all he can to stay out of that double play ball. And did he hold back? They said he did, so it's 1 ball, no strikes. Right here, he should be looking for nothing but junk. And he fouls back a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. And swing and rips one back. Ripken, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And looks like he held back. The first base umpire says he did too, so he gets to see another pitch here. 2 balls and 2 strikes, no outs with the runners on the corner for the Brewers. Chicago's in the lead, 1-0. Carrasco with the pitch. And through to left field. Cal Ripken Jr. comes up big for the Brewers as an RBI single into left field ties up the ball game at 1 apiece. So just a very good job at waiting for his pitch by Cal Ripken Jr. And it's always a good tip of the hat to your pitcher when you answer an inning in which you get scored on by scoring one yourself. And Mark Grace now up to bat, fouls away the first one. It's got pretty good opposite field power. And he also, but beautifully laid out for the pitch is Tomey, who quickly throws it a second, but the Cubs, they try but do not get the double play. So it's just one out, but I mean, that ball could have easily gotten right past Tomey. He did a beautiful job of staying with it. Had a bit of a stumble that I think cost the Cubs a double play, but just a great job at even just getting to it. I'm sorry, I keep saying Tomey. That was actually Lansford. Lansford usually is able to grab those no problem. And you get spoiled. Molina hits a ball into right field, and this is a solid base hit, scoring yet another Brewers run. And the Brewers are in business, now up 2-1 with only one out. Runners on first and second. So here's Kevin Brown, and Kevin Brown, I wouldn't overlook him. He loves to swing, he says. And he swings and misses, changeup for strike one. Really, he should be trying to bunt. And he shows bunt, and it's in the air, but not deep enough to do anything, and it's just a waste of at bat, really. But at least it's not a double play. So Eddie Murray in a good position to catch that, and he does for the second out. So Devon White, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Super ecstatic about starting today. It was just like reminded you of that kid in Little League, that the regular infielder or position player called in sick, and he knows he's going to start, and he's just all over the place before the game. That's what he was like, super excited, and wants to make the most of his chance here. I know it's going to be really hard, to really get any kind of move on. And line drive snagged out of the air by Carly Lansford. It's absolutely amazing jump in the air, perfect timing, and the Cubs get out of the inning, only giving up 2 runs. So 2-1, Milwaukee has taken the lead. As Jimmy Rollins comes up to bat, and he takes first pitch strike for strike one. So inside, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike for Rollins. A change up into the outfield. Foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it's going to be a hard play for Milwaukee's shortstop, Cal Ripken Jr., but it was just an absolute blazing ground ball into the outfield. Nothing really he could have done for that. Amazing job at trying to get to it, but ultimately a base hit. And Cubs have some speed over here at first base. That's a pitch out, just to let Rollins know that they are in fact watching. He takes off, and it could be a stolen base, and Rollins gets right under the tag on time for the stolen base. Jimmy Rollins still showing that he's got some speed left in those wheels. And he just absolutely had a great jump Good throw by Molina, just not in time. And this is a ground ball to Cal Ripken Jr. He's going to have to hurry. A lot of speed. But he is able to get him for out number 1. Willie Davis trying to get something going here. Able to hold back from the high sinker for ball 1. And an inside sinker. I don't think he was expecting that. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Brown he knew exactly where to throw that because he was committed somehow before he even threw the ball. So you can tell that these two have not their first rodeo. And a beautiful changeup to the outside. And it was just, he didn't look comfortable at all at any point during that whole at-bat. And batting now is Yaz, and the Cub fans in Milwaukee here just absolutely going crazy for him as he rips one into left field. This is going to score 1, at least, as Yaz continues his timely and prolific hitting as he ties up the ball game here. It's 2-2. Gets one right over Barry Bonds' head. Nothing you can do about that. And I know this has potential to score another run, folks. He's going to have to hurry. He's got a good arm coming from the right side, but the Cubbies take a lead here as Eddie Murray gets a base hit RBI. Al Kaline swings away, and just like that, the Milwaukee lead is now a deficit. 2 outs here. I think Brown would just love to just do away with this inning. But it's another base hit into right field. I don't think this has enough on it to score anyone, but I think that they'll also try, and they do, in fact. And it's a wide throw, and so unbelievably another run scores. So now it's a 4-2 ball game. Again with the pitcher, the catcher now, Rosenborough, looking to inflict even more damage. And it's just been unfortunate for Kevin Brown. I'm sure he would just like another chance, and Rose gets the ball in, and just in time is able to get him out at first base to get Brown out of that inning. Now batting Sammy Sosa, 0 for 1 on the day.
Right fielder, Sammy Sosa.
Chicago Cubs 4-2 over the Milwaukee Brewers here in the 3rd inning. That's an easy ball for Sammy to stay away from. Sammy is notably a more efficient hitter, especially with plate discipline here in the 2020 season. And he swings and misses, is extremely late on that. So it's something that Sammy has been struggling with, is the off speed. So 2 balls and 1 strike now to Sammy Sosa. Carrasco doing a good job here against righties. And a ball hit right to the shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. No problem throwing him out for out number 1.
The left fielder, number 29. Rafael.
Next up is Rafael Palmeiro. And he takes a 4-seamer away and outside that hangs in the batting box for strike 1. Carrasco throws the next one outside, so it's even count here, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Palmeiro just tips that one back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Palmeiro gets a hold of one. This might have a chance to get caught, and it is caught by the left fielder.
The batter, second baseman.
Yastrzemski. So Cano here with 2 outs, trying to make something happen. Brewers have been known to get things going with 2 outs. And he shoots one to third base. Carney Lansford scoops it up like the human vacuum cleaner he is for out number 3. So after 3, it's 4-2 Cubbies, as we expect some good stuff happening here with Craig Biggio leading it off for the Chicago Cubs. Biggio with a double in the second. Is 1 for 2 today.
Craig Biggio. Ball, that's out.
And I think that Brown's going to really have to show some resolve here in order to stay in this ball game. A ground ball to Cal Ripken Jr. should be routine, and it is for out number 1.
Up next for the Cubs, pitcher.
And the
Carlos
pitcher now should be an easy out for Brown. A sinker in middle for strike 1. And Carrasco just talking about how he would just love to get a hit today, because these two used to face each other actually quite regularly in some of the winter leagues that they grew up around. So Brown getting the best of Carrasco in that instance. I'm sure Brown throws a lot harder now than he used to back then. This is a ball hit into right field, a base hit. And we have a runner on first here for the Cubs.
The batter, number 4.
And Rollins just, an absolute, monster with the way he just turns, and he really uses his legs, which is why he has surprising power. He's a small guy, but he's got really strong legs. So I think that's what really surprises people about, a little guy like that having a considerable amount of power. But Molina throws him out at second base to end the inning. So Rollins must have thought that Molina was not paying attention, because he just kind of took off all nonchalant. And if you're running on Molina, you're running full speed, or you're going to be thrown out like that happens. So midway through 4, 4-2 Cubs with a base hit into center field. So that's a good way for the Brewers to start. So Cal Ripken now coming up to to see what they can do with this good fortune here. Milwaukee would love to steal some of these runs back in this inning. See who's in second. Robinson. So Cal Ripken taking a pitch here for a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, and Ripken just late on that changeup. He was definitely looking for change up. And he pops one into right field. This should be playable. And it is. And the Cubs have a 1 out going. Alkaline
Mark Grace
with the catch. And Grace, line drive to third base, but caught by Carney Lansford. Cat-like reflexes for out number 2. So Yadier Molina now up to bat. Takes the first pitch, outside fastball for ball 1. And he hits one up the middle, but this one is scooped up by Rollins. This has a great arm still for the third out. So Carney Lansford now up to bat.
Third baseman.
He's just overall such a just terrific ball player. You know, everything about the way Carney does in his day is geared towards that time between the lines in the diamond, and he's as classic as it gets with major leaguers in terms of, you know, treating the game the way it needs to be and playing the game the right way. And it's good to see guys like that still in the league. You don't see you don't see as many, but when you do see him, like as you do when you see Carney, you're just glad that you're able to still see some of that around the younger players. Kevin Brown getting up to 65 pitches now. And Carney, his patience pays off as he definitely, he's going to try and go to third, or no, he's going to stay in second. So it's a double for Carney Lansford. And
Center fielder.
looks like Milwaukee's going to start warming up some of their guys. Brown needs to settle down here. And a base hit into center field. Up comes Devon White with the throw home, but it's not going to be in time. And the Cubs score another run here, increasing their lead to 3 as they lead 5-2.
Carl Yazzie.
And Yastrzemski up to bat again. There's a bad spot for Brown, because when you get Yastrzemski up to bat and he's got a 3-run lead and there's no outs, and I mean, he just totally made him feel at home. Yeah, he comes up to a 3-0 count. A sarcastic applause by the hometown, and walks him. So this is unfortunate what's going down here.
First baseman number 33.
They're sticking with Brown though. They're sticking with him for some reason. I mean, I get it. You want to show your pitcher some loyalty, but in this case, I mean, even that changeup he just hung in there, like, God, that's a really dangerous pitch to throw. He's also not getting any help from the blue, and you can just tell it's just not going right for him today. A beautiful splitter thrown in on the inside, and Eddie Murray had some quick words to say for Brown. It was just, it's a swing and a miss, so it wasn't like it was a called third strike and you didn't agree with it. So a splitter outside for a strike. And second pitch line into left field, foul, so no balls and 2 strikes. And a fly ball to left field. Should be playable, no problem for the left fielder, and there's 2 outs. So Brown might be able to get himself out of this predicament. Rafael Palmeiro doing a nice job for him there in left field. So Rosenborough now with an opportunity. And a swing and a foul back, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Nope. I got to count 2-2.
And chop to the left, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And another foul ball. Really making Brown work here. And this is a fly ball to right field. Should be an easy out. And it is. And the Brewers get out of the inning without letting up another run.
Your attention, please.
And Pete Rose now to lead off.
Number 14, Pete Rose.
And he hits it up the middle. It's a surprise that we're not seeing Brown any longer than what he did, but I think they really just want to rest him and, just call what it is. That was a very interesting call to take Brown out, I think. I mean, I could see on one hand how they would want to protect him and not let him just go out there and have a terrible start. But, hey, what does that say? And this is a ground ball up the middle. Rollins looks like he was able to beat that.
Now batting, right fielder.
But they call him out.
Sosa.
And Sammy to right field, a fly ball, but it's not deep enough. And out number 3 here for the Chicago Cubs as they lead the Brewers 5-2 heading into the 6th. So it looks like the Brewers are going to go with Jose
number 66,
Arredondo, and only seen him one other time this year for 2 innings, and he had 2 strikeouts. Had electric stuff. I was going to really have to find his bearings here against a super ultra aggressive Craig Biggio. And Biggio with a shot to left field, but Palmeiro able to track it down for out number 1.
The pitcher, Carlos Carrasco.
And Carrasco takes the first pitch inside, changeup for strike 1. And a slider inside for strike 2. Arredondo looking sharp here. His first 2 hitters. And an outside curveball freezes Carrasco up for out number 2. So Jimmy Rollins has really been a problem for the Brewers today. He's now up.
No, inside.
And a cut by Rollins for out for strike number 2. And swings and fouls it off to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And just absolutely missed on that one. I think he was thinking changeup, and he got changeup, but he was just a little too early. And he takes an outside slider for strike 3. So Arredondo looking strong here, able to make quick work for the Cubs for first time. Really, middle of the 5th, middle of the 6th, and it's 5-2 Cubs.
Leading off for the Brewers, left fielder Rafael Palmeiro.
And a swing and a miss from Palmeiro. And just an absolute horrible swing from Palmeiro. takes changeup outside for ball number 1, so 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Outside, that's the ball.
So Palmeiro working the count now to even 2 balls and 2 strikes. And another change ball that misses, so we got 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count for Palmeiro. And he fouls one into the left side. Could be playable, but it ends up in the fans. And we'll do it again. And Ralphie able to get a base hit into center field. Great at bat by Rafael Palmeiro. Absolutely frustrating Carrasco. And the Brewers get their leadoff guy on base. Cano 1 for 2 with a single in the first today. And he rips one into the outfield, and this is going to get 2 runners on base for Milwaukee, as I'm sure they're very pleased with starting the inning this way. 2 on base with no outs. And a line drive right to Jimmy Rollins for out number 1. Good hit on the ball, but right to the shortstop. Now batting Cal Ripken Jr. And he's able to hold back a check swing for ball 1, a slider outside. Oh, he did not swing, but the first baseman umpire says he did. And it's just an absolute tragic call on his part, as Ripken barely moved his bat from his shoulder. Inside fastball. So Carrasco still struggling with his control. Ripken ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Ripken, a slow grounder to third base. They're going to try and get a double play out of it, but are unable to do so, as Ripken gets to first base, and Brewers have first and third with 2 outs. Grace may be able to get something going here. Takes an inside curveball for ball 1. And that curveball is definitely outside, but Carrasco gets away with one there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Grace with a fly ball to center field puts away the Brewers, who have just been leaving batters runners on base. Carney Lansford with a base hit into left field.
Center fielder number 3, Willie Davis.
So Willie Davis now looking to add to this lead. The 7th inning here. Oh, and a base hit, so now you got Chicago Cubs with 2 on base with no outs.
The left fielder, number 8, Carl Yazzie.
It looks like the Brewers have seen enough.
Number 39, Edwin Diaz.
They're going to put Edwin Diaz here against Yaz. Seems like a good move. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with his spot in the lineup. when they're batting. Inside slider looked good, but the Blues just being very strict with his strike zone today. And Yaz able to rip one into right field. A strong throw, is not able to get the runner, and the Cubs do in fact add to their lead. So already 6 runs for the Cubs here in the 7th inning. That's 16 runs in the last 2 games for the Cubs. So that can't be good. You know, this guy is not giving anything to Diaz. I mean, his calling is so inconsistent. And you can see why Diaz is upset. Still no outs. And this snagged out of the air by Cal Ripken Jr. for the first out.
The right fielder, number 6, Al Kaline.
Off the plate, ball 1.
And a foul ball to right down the third baseline. 1 ball, 1 strike. And another ball, foul back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another foul from Kaline. And this playable for Molina, but unable to come up with it. And a strike 3, a high fastball. Gets Diaz the out, and there are now 2 outs with Roseboro here up to bat. So Diaz doing a good job at making a bit of a bat situation into a semi-good one, and a nice play at first base by Mark Grace gets the Brewers out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the traditional 7th inning stretch.
So we're midway through the 7th, the Chicago Cubs 6, the Milwaukee Brewers 2. And Yadier Molina leading off.
Yadier Molina.
Molina with a fly ball to left field for the first out.
The pitcher, number 39, Edwin Diaz. Your attention, please.
So Barry Bonds coming in for the
number 25, Barry Bonds.
For the pitcher. It'd be nice if he gets to trot around the bases and goes back to resting himself for tomorrow's game. And he takes second pitch, a low curveball for ball 1.
Two balls, 1 strike.
2 balls and 1 strike. And Bonds strikes out. Just very typical of the kind of season he's having here in the beginning games.
Devin White.
Ball 1, no strike.
And a swing at absolute nonsense. The Brewers just do not look like they have their timing down today. Everything's either a little late, a little early. But the worst is when they're just totally off. It's just not a good look.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Suddenly Carrasco is looking really good in terms of coming up with the win today. A slider inside gives us a full count. And a foul ball for Devon White, stays alive. And another foul ball. And another strikeout for Carrasco. Sends the Brewers back to the dugout with no runs here at the end of the 7th, still trailing 6-2.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Brewers.
So Uehara now will do his part in trying to stop the bleeding. Craig Biggio had a double earlier in the game. And this play is doable. And Sammy Sosa comes in and it's a quick out number 1. Looks like Carrasco's going to be left in the game.
No, that's low.
One out here, so. And a strike. One ball and 2 strikes.
Nope.
Carrasco.
You can't lose, ball.
And Carrasco giving Uehara a hard time up here. And a foul ball, ground ball to first base from Mark Grace gets the job done.
The batter, number 11, shortstop, Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins 2 for 3 today. A slow ground ball right to the pitcher. Easy play for out number 3.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Chicago Cubs, number 54, Pete Richter.
So we got Pete Richter now here for the Cubs. And Sosa swinging for the fences. Takes a pitch for a ball, but it's really a strike now. And a swing and a miss.
2 strikes.
It's almost just not looking like he's comfortable. A slow foul ball to the left side for third baseman. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
2-2. Count.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And takes an inside fastball for ball 3, so we got a full count here with no outs. And he takes an outside 4-seamer for a walk, so this is a step in the right direction for the Cubs. Not so good. And a fly ball, very high fly ball, but center fielder will have no problem retrieving this for out number 1. Now Robinson Cano up to bat 2 for 3 today. A single in the second, a single in the fourth. And he takes a curveball that seems to me like it was a bit outside, but the umpire didn't think so. And this is a high fastball that Cano has no problem laying off. Well, if it's going to happen, it's got to start now, that's for sure, for the Milwaukee Brewers. Inside sinker, 2 balls and 1 strike. And another inside curveball. So Cano works the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. And a swing and a miss. That curveball was right where he wants it, but either wasn't looking for it, I don't know what, but here's a full count, and again, Richet having a hard time here with his control. The Brewers would be wise to just let him throw as much as he can. A high fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Here we are at the bottom of the 8th. Cubs lead the Brewers 6-2. Oh, and that looked like it could have caught the line, but umpire says foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and Robinson gets a hold of one, but it's a little early. Fouls it back. And there's an outside fastball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a ground ball to third base. Could be a double play. No, he drops it over at second base. So just by sheer luck, the inning continues. I don't think they're going to rule it an error, but definitely was a double play opportunity there. But he dropped it. So inside fastball for ball 1. Richet still having trouble with his control. And swings at a slider. Gets a piece of one, but fouls it back. 1 ball and 1 strike. And a ball low, 4-seamer. 2 balls and 1 strike. And another ball, and this time thought about coming home, but wisely stays on third base. So we got a full count. And a deep shot to right field. This has a chance, but unfortunately for the Brewers, it was not that hard for the right fielder to catch it. And
Leading out for the Cubs.
now we have the 9th inning with the Brewers in the trailing 2-6. Lansford reaching for that, but swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. And a fly ball to right field. Easy catch for Sammy for strike for out number 1.
Center fielder number 3, Willie Davis.
Willie Davis up to bat, takes the first pitch for strike 1. Uehara looking sharp as always. And Cano barely has to move. No problem with the throw for out number 2.
Now batting, left fielder.
And Yaz having another terrific night. 2 for 3 today. And Yaz gets a hold of yet another one, folks. And his offensive tear is not finishing Yaz. He goes deep again. His 4th home run in 2 days. 4th solo shot. And I don't think he ever wants to leave Milwaukee. Joe Manager's absolutely thrilled with what he's seeing. I mean, that was just a mistake. And Yaz took advantage of it. I mean, he hit every single bit of that. Those are the kind that even the opposing team admire. So the Cubs now go up 7-2, 17 runs in the last 2 games given up by Brewer pitching. And it's just, it's not what you thought about when you saw them take 3 out of 4 from the Rockies to start the season, but not looking good here against the Cubs. Looks like they're about to go down 0 games to 2 as Brooke Robinson catches out number 3. So Yastrzemski strikes again and showing no mercy, even as the Brewers are trailing and are still down now by a score of 7-2. Okay, Mark Grace up to bat. It's got to start with somebody. So Grace takes a pitch there for strike 1. And a base hit into center field, so Mark Grace doing his part as the Brewers get their leadoff guy here on first in the bottom of the 9th. Yadier Molina, 1 for 3 today. Hey. And swings and fouls it back. And Molina, a base hit into right field, and the Brewers have 2 men on the bases here in the 9th inning with no outs. So Brewers will now have used their entire
number 21, Roberto Clemente.
bench with Roberto Clemente coming in. I have to wonder if that's the best idea. And he takes a slider inside. He didn't think so. Very few people outside of the umpire thought that was a strike. But you have to live with these calls. And he pops one up into right field. This might have a chance of being a foul ball, I was going to say, but it's caught. So we have 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Center fielder, Devin White.
So Devon White now the batter. And he takes the first pitch inside for a ball. And Devon, fly ball to left field, easy out. And Brewers are down to their last out. And I don't think a lot of people foresaw this happening. And who else but Sammy Sosa as the last possible out against the Chicago Cubs, a team he was very fond of. But apparently they weren't very fond of him, as he did not have a cozy exit with the Cubs. Sosa able to hold back. 1 ball, 1 strike. And swing and a miss, so not only down to the last out, but the Brewers now down to their last strike. And Sammy lays off. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he strikes him out to end the ball game. And just a terrible game for the Brewers, but a great win for the Cubs, who now take a commanding, for the start of the season anyways, a 1.5 game lead in the division for first place. So regardless of what happens tomorrow, because they won the first 2, they'll be leaving Milwaukee atop of the National League Central, and that's gotta always make a team feel good. Tomorrow they come to the ball game, of course, laser focus as always, coming in for the sweep, but they'll also be very happy to know that they're coming out on top of the division, which is ultimately where you always want to be as a baseball team. So Carrasco takes the win for the Chicago Cubs, 7 innings of work.
First for the victorious Chicago
and
Cubs. 7 runs on 13
just
hits.
let the announcer do his piece here.
They left 7 men on base. For the Brewers, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 9 runners on base.
So there you have it.
Game, 3 hours
You leave 9 players on base, you're going to lose the game. You know.
A reminder that extra post-game MCTS bus service is available on Route 90.
But really, it came down to the pitching. Kevin Brown giving up 5 earned runs, only striking out 5. It's not really like him. And all the damage was done in those 5 innings. And it's just a shame. It's just a shame what's going on here with the Brewers, but. You know, again, a depleted lineup. They're going to have to do a better job at watching their players. I think it wasn't until today that the manager actually, I think a reporter mentioned, hey, how's the resting going? And it just, I think it hit Craig Counsell right there, like, hey, you know what? I guess my guys need to rest because you have a lot of guys playing today that usually wouldn't be playing here. But in any case, the Brewers look to bounce back tomorrow and avoid the sweep. Carl Yastrzemski still having an amazing start. 3 for 4 today with a home run, a double, 3 RBIs. I mean, this guy is, like we said, he's probably looking to stay in Milwaukee as long as possible. He is seeing the ball great. I don't know if it's the inside of the stadium or what it is, but he is absolutely off to an amazing offensive displaying here against the Brewers. Well, my name is Alejandro, and this is it for today. I was happy to bring you some Brewer baseball, and hope to see you tomorrow. Again, as the Brewers will face off against the Cubs for Game 3 of this series, the final game of the series. And we'll be here for you, always as usual, with Brewer baseball.